Hi everybody. On January 31st, I posted a vulnerable post on Facebook and a couple of other social media platforms, and it was a whole lot of writing. And I'm sure past the first paragraph, people stop reading, and I understand that. That's a whole lot of reading to do for one post. So what I've decided to do now is create this video that basically covers the same information, a little more raw, too, because it's on video, and yes, I can edit, but really this is just the authentic me. So as I stated in that post, I am really honored and blessed that over the last 2 years I've been able to support so many individuals in my private practice, and even more honored over the last 20 years to have been a mentor, a coach, a trainer, a supervisor, a frontline worker, working in distress at distress centers and in victim services. But it hasn't always been that way. As a kid, as a youth, I felt very isolated. I was an empath who lived in a family that I perceived to be emotionally constipated. That was one of my taglines. It's like, how can I be such a feeling person in a family of people that seem so emotionally suppressed? So a lot of my younger life, I was seeking that empathy. I was seeking that attention, the praise, the reassurance that I didn't feel that I was getting at the time. And I had also been in a relationship in high school, and I was cheated on. So I was really searching at that point for guarantees. I wanted to have someone who really paid attention to me. I wanted somebody who I really sought that affection, attention, reassurance, someone to take care of me, and someone that really got me. And I did find that individual, and I did feel that there were guarantees at that time. Like, I really did a lot of testing there, poor guy. And his whole family and the community that he was from really sort of wrapped their arms around me and gave me that attention and affection and what I thought was validation at the time. And all I had to do in order to have access for that for the rest of my life was to give up everything that I had before, give up my family, give up my friends. And I did that. And as you can guess, that what I thought was a shiny jewel turned out to just be polished glass. And over time, I realized how much of myself I was losing. I'm a kind of person who likes to put their hand up, likes to participate, loves to add pieces, do research. Like, I come from a family of researchers. Go look it up, right? And look it up from different places. And I was in an organization where that was no go. Don't do that. It was look at our own literature, look at the stuff from within, nothing from without. And you're a woman, so calm down, right? Let your husband answer. And I just found myself so stifled, so suffocated by the restrictions that were put on me. And I was really starting to question what it was that I was in. And I found that whole loving, caring validation was a facade. It was that way to bring you in, and it wasn't something that it was reality when things got rough. And I found at that point that my marriage was falling apart. I hadn't gone to school. I actually quit college before I came into that organization. I had a young child who was depending on me, and things had to change. And I actually remember the day, and it was in the kitchen, and wow. I'd had enough. I had one of those really cool vision spots. I loved them, they were great. And my favorite spaghetti sauce, I mean, it was pretty famous for my spaghetti sauce. And I was having a heated discussion with my spouse, and I just turned around and I smashed that pot down. I mean, it just shattered into a million pieces. And I said, enough. And it wasn't just enough to the marriage. It was enough to the lifestyles, enough to being in that organization. It was enough. I wanted to find myself again. And I couldn't do it in the place that I was in. And just like that vision spot, I had to clean up the mess and pick up the pieces. And it took a long time. It took a long time. But I did do it. I mean, that was a pivotal point for me. It felt like it was the bottom floor. It was like the bottom rung. And there were so many things I had to do. I had to crawl back to the family in which I had shunned, that I had ostracized, that I had criticized. Because I didn't feel that there was any other place that I could go. I had to rebuild that relationship. And I also, had to, the humble pie. But I did it. And I also went back to school. I got my honors degree in psychology. I got an unofficial minor in women's studies and theology. I have got 2 certifications, post-degree certifications, as well as, getting accredited with the International Coaching Federation. So, I'm certified as a life coach. But it was a lot of work. But it was worth it. And with the help of mentors and coaches and some really amazing people along the way, I was able to actually make those shifts and changes. One thing that really stood out for me, though, is how much time it took. And I didn't even realize that what I was recovering from. I thought it was just a whole mess of things that I needed to sort out, but it was so much more, as many of you already know. And one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the work that I do is that I really, really, really want to be able to support people to live strong and authentic lives, because I know it can happen. I'm doing it myself, and there's still growth to happen, absolutely. But I want to support people to live strong and authentic lives sooner rather than later. And I believe in the work that I do. I've seen how it transforms individuals as well as transform myself. I mean, I didn't become a life coach just willy-nilly and I'm doing it. I had to go through the whole process and be able to have people coach me so that I knew what it was like to be on both sides. So what I want to hold for everyone today is that with this passion that I have, I would really love to be able to support individuals to move forward. So with that, over the next 3 months, I have opportunities for 20 people to have a free Reclaim Your Power strategy session with me. There's going to be information in the comments below on how to be able to do that. But I want to be able to share that opportunity with individuals who have been shunned, who have gone through that process of feeling so isolated and wanting to come out the other side, wanting to have those changes. So I really would love to be able to offer that to you and know that you're not alone. So I'm wondering if you're willing to hold that vision for 20 people to be able to have this opportunity. And it's a free session, so it's 30 minutes with me, and what happens in that session, it's confidential. It provides you with an opportunity to get crystal clear on where you are now and where you want to go, and provides you with some amazing material and information and resources to really help you to be able to move forward and find that joy and find that community that you've always sought for. And just to let you know that after all of that hard work I went through in self-development, that eventually with my family, and it's even more recently, I was able to actually see that love, able to take in the attention. And one thing that I think is really important to put here, I actually watched an old video back from the 80s, and I was playing the piano at a family event, and I remember that day distinctly. There was a few different things that helped me remember that day, but I watched it through the eyes of myself now, after going through all of that mentoring, all of that coaching, all of my education, all of my personal development. And I was able to see and hear the attention, the affection, and the love that actually came from my family. It was such a gift. And it proved to me that when we look at the world, trying to find that we don't fit, we'll always find it. And when we look at the world in the ways that we do fit, whether it's with our biological family or families that we create, you'll find it as well. So I would really love to be able to have that opportunity for these 20 people, in order to have that resource, in order to really get those first steps in being able to open up to possibilities and get really crystal clear, so you can have that joy in your life as well. Thank you so much.